All right, let's get into it. Today we're talking about something huge, something that's on a lot of our minds. In this crazy world of modern dating, how in the world do you tell the difference between real, genuine love and something that just, looks like it? Okay, let's dive in.
I mean, this is the question, right? It's something we all struggle with at some point. You meet someone, everything feels amazing, but then that little voice in the back of your head pipes up, is this actually for real? It's a tough one, for sure, but the good news is there are ways to figure it out.
And you know what? Let's be real. That little bit of skepticism, it's usually there for a good reason. Our source material really hits on this, saying the world is just full of, frauds. People who are just looking to pass the time. And that makes trusting anyone, incredibly hard.
But here's the thing, and this is really the core idea for our whole discussion today. Yeah, fakers are out there, but keeping up an act is exhausting. They can't do it forever. True feelings, a person's real character, that stuff always comes out eventually. So the trick really is just knowing what signs to watch for.
Okay, so let's get practical. We're going to kick things off with our first checklist. This is all about his actions toward you, the stuff you can actually see and observe. Think of these as the first clues to figuring out what his intentions really are.
First up, he protects you. And look, this isn't about being controlling or possessive. Not at all. It's about a real, genuine concern for your safety. Like, does he send that "did you get home okay" text? Does he just check in, in a low-key way to make sure you're doing all right? That instinct to make sure you're safe, that's a really powerful sign of real care.
All right, sign number 2 is respect. And again, we're not just talking about basic manners here. It goes so much deeper. A partner who really values you respects your opinions, your goals, your choices. They make you feel like an equal, like a real partner. Your perspective isn't just something they listen to, it's something they actively want and, value.
Oh man, this next one is huge. He encourages you. Think about it. Does your success make him happy? A really great partner isn't going to feel threatened when you do well. No way. They celebrate it with you. They're your number one fan, your biggest cheerleader. They're pushing you to go after your goals because, honestly, your happiness makes them happy too.
Okay, so we've talked about his actions toward you. Now let's go a level deeper. In this next section, we're going to look past those day-to-day things and really get into his character. This is where we start to see who he really is as a person and, what he might be thinking long-term. Our source has a great phrase for this, a one-woman man. And what that really boils down to is loyalty and focus. It means his attention is on you, not because he couldn't be with someone else, but because you are his priority. His focus isn't split, and he's not secretly keeping his options open. You're it.
Now this next one is really interesting. He shows humility. And I think we need to be clear here. This doesn't mean he's weak or a pushover. Absolutely not. In a healthy relationship, being willing to be humble, to kind of bend, that's actually a sign of incredible strength. It just shows he cares more about the relationship itself than about winning an argument or protecting his ego.
And this slide just lays it out so clearly. Is he a giver or is he a taker? It's a fundamental difference. A giver is always thinking about what they can bring to your life. Support, happiness, making you feel important. A taker? Well, they're always thinking about what they can get from you. A real partner is going to invest in you, and they're not going to be keeping a running tally of who did what.
You know something small but powerful to listen for? His pronouns. A guy who's really in this for the long haul will naturally start talking in terms of we, not I. It stops being my plans and becomes our plans. And that's not just semantics. It's a huge mental shift. It shows he already sees you as a core part of his life.
All right, number 8. He tries to understand you. And this is so important. So many fights happen because we're just listening for our turn to talk, right? But a partner who genuinely loves you listens to understand. They'll actually set their ego aside for a minute and try to see things from your point of view. That's a game changer. This one kind of ties back to him being your cheerleader, but it's even more personal. It's about sharing your joy. When you're happy, is he happy? When something good happens to you, something big, or even something tiny, does his face just light up right along with yours? That shared happiness, that's one of the best, most real signs of love there is. So, we've covered a bunch of signs, but our source material saves the most important rule for last. Seriously, this is the one that everything else is built on. It's the key that really lets you see things for what they are. And here it is. The person who truly loves you will wait for you. That's it. That's the ultimate test. Someone whose feelings are legit, someone who sees a real future with you, they're not going to rush you. They won't pressure you. Why? Because their commitment is about you, not about hitting some imaginary deadline. So what does that mean for you? It gives you a really clear action plan. Step 1, watch his actions consistently. Step 2, use that time to understand his real character. And step 3, which is the hardest part, take your time. You get to decide, and you don't have to rush it. And please, don't be afraid of what taking your time really means. The source even throws out a number, 1 year. If it takes you a year to really feel like you know someone, then take that year. Look, anyone can be on their best behavior for a few weeks, even a few months, but a person's true character, that only comes out over the long haul.
So, when you boil it all down, what's the big takeaway? It's this. Finding real, lasting love isn't some crazy, rushed whirlwind romance. It's actually a quiet, patient process. It's about watching and learning and just giving it time for a person's true self to come through in their actions.
And that leaves us with one final question to think about. When we're looking for someone to spend our life with, we're often chasing that spark, that immediate passion. But maybe, just maybe, the real foundation for a future that's built to last is something quieter, something stronger. Maybe it's patience. What do you think?